Piccadilly Press presents Shiver Point. It Came from the Woods. Written by Gabriel Dillon and read by Ciaran Saward. Chapter 1. I Saw It First. The light in the sky had come down somewhere in the trees. The problem was that those trees were part of Howlmoor Forest. Alex had been on his skateboard, cruising back and forth on the tatty half-pipe he'd built in his mum's tiny back garden when he'd seen the light burst through the clouds. At first he'd thought it was a plane, jetting through the night sky to somewhere far more exciting than Shiver Point, or a firework set off on the other side of town. But he'd quickly changed his mind. It was too fast for a plane, and too bright to be a firework. An odd sense of dread washed over Alex, a strange feeling that the light up in the sky wasn't quite normal. A heartbeat later it was gone. The glow sank towards the horizon, vanishing into the dark mass of the forest with a curious green flash. Alex rubbed at his eyes to check he wasn't dreaming, and glanced down at his watch. 5 minutes past midnight. And still no sign of his mum. This was the way life had been since they had moved to Shiver Point a few months ago. His mum's shifts at the hospital were running later and later, and Alex found himself staying up hours past his bedtime to see her when she got home. He fought back a yawn, studying the distant trees once more. Had there really been something in the sky? Suddenly a memory popped into Alex's brain, the voice of his geography teacher, Mr. Williams, delivering pretty much the only interesting lesson he'd taught all term. The topic of the lesson had been meteors, and one of the class had asked the teacher if a lump of space rock would be valuable. "I'd imagine so," Mr. Williams had said, staring up at the classroom ceiling as if a fiery meteorite was about to smash through the tiles and make a big runny mess of several of Alex's classmates. "They're rare, but sometimes they do come down, in which case they're called meteorites. If you found a piece of one, you might get a few £1,000s for it at an auction." The teacher's answer had drawn a series of gasps and mutters from the class, most of them probably wondering how many milkshakes they could get from Chilling Shakes, Shiver Point's premier cafe, with that much cash, and if it was possible to buy your way out of having to go to school. As the other pupils had huddled together, excitedly planning their purchases, Alex had known exactly how he'd spend that kind of money. A few minutes later the bell had gone, ending the discussion. While the rest of the class had scrambled outside, heading off to lunchtime clubs or to kick a ball around the field, Alex had been the last to leave. It wasn't the fact that he still hadn't made any friends in Shiver Point, or that he spent every lunchtime and break on his own. No, he was daydreaming about how finding something like a meteor could turn things around for him and his mum. The memory faded away, and Alex turned his attention back towards Howlmoor Forest. The woodlands stretched on for miles, and he wasn't convinced that stumbling around in the darkness, losing his way and getting freaked out until morning was the best idea he'd ever had. But what if that thing from the sky turned out to be worth a lot of money? Before Alex had time to think things through any
Sample complete. Ready to continue?